Terry Sachs.
Here.
Marla Hexter.
Here.
Charles Leidig.
Here.
Kevin Tobias here. Tom Keenan.
Here.
And Carol Shule.
Here.
And filling in for Chief Maxey is Megan Burns. Okay. Announcements. Township meetings are recorded for the purpose of preparing the minutes, and the recording is destroyed when the minutes are approved. It is requested that all persons wishing to speak before the board shall state their name, address, and the subject matter upon which they wish to speak for the record. In the interest of facilitating the business of the board, all persons addressing the board shall be limited to 2 minutes unless such time is extended by the chairman for good cause. Individuals are requested to remain in their seats and to respect when other persons are speaking. The Board of Supervisors will provide a reasonable opportunity for citizens to comment on any non-agenda items after all agenda items have been addressed, but prior to the adjournment of the public meeting. These rules adopted January 30th, 2018.
And I just want to add to that. We often have a situation where we have comments that are much longer and in excess of 2 minutes. Obviously, if you have something to say that is more complicated, cannot be done in 2 minutes, that's fine. But if it gets repetitive, or if more than one person is saying the exact same comment, we will ask to limit that. And we do ask people, please, we have 2 comment sections. Please limit your comments to those 2 comment sections and when we are voting on something. We do have a visitor tonight, so we will have questions after he speaks. Thanks.
Just a note, we did have an executive session on October 19th, 2018, and that was to discuss legal issues. First up on the agenda is Dave Wallace from our third-party building inspector, LTL Consultants, to do just a brief description or a building permit process, and maybe any other questions that he thinks are pertinent to things that happen on a daily basis here. So,
thank you. Good evening, folks. I hope you can hear me.
There's a wireless mic here if you want to use it.
I'll try to boom. I got big enough.
Okay.
I'm your building and zoning officer, okay? And I'm here. I just wanted to introduce you to me. I've been here for almost 2 years, and one of the things we agreed to when we initiated this contract 22 months ago or so is that I have office hours here in the township every week, Monday from 11 to 1, trying to capitalize on the lunchtime hour. People maybe get a half hour off lunch. If they have questions, they can come to me. If I'm not here, on the rare case that I'm not here, yes, I do take vacation, there will be 1 or 2 other usual people that will fill in for me. If there's an absolute disaster, a nuclear holocaust or something, there may be another day that they'll be filled in due to complicated scheduling. In the last 2 years, that might have happened 3 times. So usually every Monday, I am here for 2 hours for you. Some days it's a revolving door and it's very exciting. Other days I can hear the crickets chirp. Okay? And it makes me wonder. And so I just want to make sure that you understand that I'm here as a resource for you. Some of the common things that come across my desk that can be answered easily. Sometimes I find out through back channels, or Kevin gets a message and he scrolls it down, go check on this, go check on that, or somebody calls and wants to know about a fence or a shed or something. That's great. There's people using it. There's other instances where I find out maybe not the so great way. And I just want to make sure you know I'm here as your resource. Please use it. I have business cards here with our office phone number, not my cell, I'm sorry. It's my personal cell. But it has my email. I get email remotely 24 hours a day. And I usually try to respond to phone calls within a day. Again, I'm here. We are your resource 5 days a week plus. I have been out here on weekends. There's a house that burned down in Babington, and came down and checked on it. In extreme emergencies, we can do things like that. But we try to keep it Monday through Friday, normal business hours. You can call, email 24 hours a day to this office. It goes to my voicemail, and usually within a day I will respond. Some of the common things that come across are sheds, placement of sheds, incorrect placement of sheds, are there permits for sheds, patios, fences, and there's a lot of misinformation. There's things that have been done in the past that are different than what they're being done to today, and there's reasons why I can and cannot enforce certain regulations in those instances, and I can explain those. People ask about fee sheets. What's the cost of this? What's the cost of that? I can explain that. We are diligently working to getting a lot of this information up on the Township website. There is actually quite a bit of information up there, and we are constantly putting up more. I'm doing information sheets on decks. I'm doing information sheets on, I've done 2 or 3 different information sheets that Barney's been putting up there. So please, that's the resource. If you have questions, ask me. I am yours. Again, there's some business cards here. There's always some business cards up front. Please fill in my email box. Leave messages. Leave Kevin some little love notes of, give me a call back. Again, if it's not an emergency, I'm always here Monday. Or someone from LTL is always here Monday from 11 to 1. Here's my email. Other times, or the phone mail out to our office in Goldie. Call, leave a message, you'll get an answer usually within a day or 2. Okay? Do you have any questions that just pop up out of your mind that you may want to ask? And that's it, never again. I'm done.
I have a question.
Sure.
So one of the things I sometimes hear is, why do I have to get a permit or permission for this when my neighbor, the guy down the street, they did it and they didn't get permission, or they didn't do it, why do I have to do it?
It's a common question. I do hear that from time to time. Again, like I say, things were done historically. I cannot reconcile that. All I know is that right now, under the current laws of Pennsylvania, there's a thing called the Uniform Construction Code. It was adopted roughly 2004. And that mandates what code we follow and what the code is of all the townships. It's a little bit more intricacies than that, but in general, out of the 2,700 municipalities, about 90+% of them adopt this UCC that dictates what code we follow. When we talk about zoning codes, that's different. That's the Municipal Planning Code, MPC, and that's been around for a long time.
72.
Carol, it's
72.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. Which dictates how things happen, the order of which notice of violations happen, the remedies, the fines, and all that. Previous predecessors of mine did what they did. I cannot reconcile or account for that. All I'm doing is right now, this is what we're doing. And for the most part, whatever happened in the past is water under the bridge at this point. From here on, this is the way we're going to operate. The fact is, you can do most of what you want to do on your property. The MPC and the IRC that we're using, the International Residential Code, or the IBC, the International Business Code, is more commercial related, is all about to protect your particular residential investment. Point example. Did you know, right down on Main Street, there is a manufacturing plant that for the last 20 years, there's a record of this place, of producing toxic fumes to the neighborhood? Okay? I shut them down. That's not going to happen anymore. Okay? I fixed that. That's not going to happen. The DEP already knows about that. Those complaints were heard and are dealt with. Those fumes will never come out of that building again unless they go through the scrubbers, which we've made them buy. Okay? These are things that happen, and there's records of decisions and indecisions, and that's over there. It's in the filing cabinet. When I want to amuse myself and nobody comes here, and it's a quiet Monday, I read through those and get a little bit educated about the history of North Frederick. But today, they're going to fix the ventilation system. There's people, just found out last week, somebody made a complaint, there's 50 chickens and turkeys down there on Main Street. Right behind the creek. Right down the street from the place that has the fumes. I'm working on that. To have fowl or livestock, you need 10 acres. They've got less than a half. Okay, we're going to fix that. So yes, you can do what you want to do, but if you want to farm on a quarter acre of land, somebody's going to get annoyed when they smell the chicken you know about, or the roosters crow. That's where I would step in. Constant problem I get is sheds on property lines, and why do you get a permit for a shed? The reason is because people keep putting them on the property line. And nobody is absolutely, and this is common. In a community where you have small lots and properties are on, I hate to say this, but if you have 13 acres and you put a shed on it, am I going to go measure that you're exactly 15 feet from the property line? I'm not going to do it. But if you have a 9,000 square foot parcel and you want to put a 10 by 20 shed on it, and it says it has to be 10 feet from the property line, am I going to measure 10 feet from the property line? You bet. And what I'm finding is people are putting them on the property line, and some people are not too happy about that. And they might not necessarily should be there. So we're working with the board and trying to find a resolution for historical things. Going forward, they're not going to be on the property line. Yeah, you can hit your shed, you just can't put on the property line. So, these rules are out there to protect you and your investment. The idea of having a manufacturing plant putting out, belching out volatile organic compounds in a residential community, just irritates me. I'm not against what they do at all. I really don't care. But doing it in a residential atmosphere where all of us live, it's a little bit crazy. Okay. That's what it's out there for. Not necessarily to keep you from having a dog or painting your siding and putting windows in. Okay? Here's some business cards. Give me a call anytime, any week. Give me a call, shoot me an email. If you have any question, storm water running down the street. This is one of the ones I got last week. Just people filling in storm water. Well, we've had the second coming of water. So after I'm dealing with storm water. And people filling in ditches and stuff. So let me know. I'm here. I'm your resource. Okay? Thank you. You're very welcome. And I hope to keep doing it for you. Okay?
Move on, Terry. Terry. Move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to move on then.
Okay. Need approval for the minutes of October 2nd, 2018. If I could have a motion, please.
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Under correspondence, a few items I have. From Montgomery County Department of Public Safety, their incident report for October. Lower Frederick Township Planning Commission minutes of October 18th. I guess we'll go into those a little bit later. Central Perkiomen Valley Regional Planning Commission minutes of September 17th. LTL's report for October 2018 and Plymouth Ambulance report for October of 2018. Item number 3, under administrative actions. In your packet, you have these treasurer's report and bills to pay for October. If I could have a motion to accept those, please.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Item number 4, public comment. Anything on agenda items? All right, moving on. Under number 5, reports, solicitor.
Thank you.
I guess we took care of those 4. ordinances.
We did. So during the month of October, in addition to our routine operations, we prepared a time limit waiver for B-Team Investment Subdivision. For the Knight subdivision, we prepared a waiver for the posting of their escrow and obtained executed floodplain easement agreements. And we're looking forward to obtaining plans to be recorded. The Arcadia subdivision, we received and reviewed final homeowner association documents. And we prepared 10 easements which are in favor of Lower Frederick Township from that subdivision. For the Sachs land development, which is on the circle up here, we recorded the final plans at the Recorder of Deeds office in Norristown and filed a development agreement at the Recorder of Deeds. For the Melbourne Hill subdivision and land development, we reviewed Planning Commission comments and prepared a memo for record concerning their presentation to Township supervisors and staff. For Lower Frederick Township, we worked on drafting a building use policy and building use application form. Next, I'm going to ask for some supervisor input to see how we want to move ahead. On the refinancing of the wastewater treatment plant debt, we reviewed several documents prepared by Darrell Peck from Concord Financial. We attended a special meeting held to consider the results of Concord's presentation to numerous banks, and I would like to have a resolution which coincides with that meeting and its decisions to authorize the township manager to make a final withdrawal of all the funds in the Fulton Bank loan, and that this withdrawal should be accomplished no later than December the 1st, 2018, so that the funds are available for the collection system project, and that the new 2018 note will repay the full remaining available amount of the 2015 Fulton loan. I do know that just today or yesterday, we received something from Darrell Peck that had another alternative for you to consider. I don't know whether you wish to do that or not.
It's okay.
I was going to speak to it. Can we go first? Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just to let everybody know, Fulton Bank came back with a second offer. Can everyone hear me? I do want to note that this offer was based on their knowledge of the offer that was made to us by the bank that we have accepted. So while it's not illegal for them to do that, in my opinion, it is unethical. They knew what the low offer was, and then they want to go lower than that. So we can have a discussion about it, but just to let you know that's what happened. It's kind of unusual and a bit, I don't know, it kind of concerns me that they would do that. It's kind of like having insider information, I would say.
I'm going to quickly comment too, Tom, please. So, as Marla mentioned, as Tom mentioned, we did receive an email today, I believe it was today, from Darrell Peck in regards to the Fulton Bank secondary offer, if you will. If we were to discuss this further, Tom, would this make this resolution moot or not?
Yes. But in the information that's been provided to us, we really don't know the particulars of what we do with that withdrawal, whether we do it or we don't do it, or we don't know. The numbers that I see aren't any big deal as to a difference between what we studied and what we heard and gave attention to and what we've put out, but whatever you wish to do is okay.
I guess I just want to reiterate that we accepted the offer in good faith from the other bank, and then with knowledge of that offer, after they had made an offer that was not as good, they then want to come back. So my concern is that it would look unethical if we were to say, hey, you know, we got a better offer, we're going to dump you. I'm concerned about our reputation, our integrity as a township, and if we want to refinance again in the future and banks see that this is the way we operate, I think it's going to damage our ability to borrow in the future. So speaking for myself, I have some serious concerns about the manner in which they approach this. They had an opportunity, like every other bank had an opportunity, to provide their best offer. Theirs was not good enough, and we've gone with someone else. So that's my opinion.
Well, with that, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would suggest that we pass a resolution authorizing the township manager to make a final withdrawal of all the funds in the Fulton Bank loan, that this withdrawal should be accomplished no later than December 1st, 2018, so that the funds are available for the collection system project, and that the new 2018 note that we have negotiated with the new bank will repay the full remaining available amount of the 2015 Fulton loan.
I'll make a motion to
Second.
that way.
Any
Question?
discussion? Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
So just to clarify, so we're going to go ahead with our Monday meeting?
Yes.
And
Correct.
Daryl. By the way, that is a public meeting. If anyone wants to attend, it'll probably be very brief.
It should be 10 minutes. I think that we should ask the township manager to confirm with Darrell that we're moving ahead. Would you do that, please? And that's the conclusion of my report. Thank you.
Okay.
What was your question to the?
It was about, I just wanted to know what time I'm on.
Oh, sorry. It's at 11.
11.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Engineers report, Carol?
Mine feels simple after that. Mostly informational tonight. One is that the results from the speed hump survey were mapped at the request of the board to consider any patterns in the survey replies that were received, and that map was delivered to the township and the board. Goshen Road sidewalks, in response to a resident request at last week's workshop meeting, the board directed us to prepare a preliminary review of installation of sidewalks along Goshen Road west of the intersection with Brimley Road. The preliminary estimate suggests sidewalk design, bidding, and construction would cost between $60,000 and $100,000 to implement. If so directed by the board, we can next investigate potential funding sources for such a project. Again, informational, and this was actually mentioned last week, but I wanted to make sure everybody heard some of the other things going on in the township. The township was recently contacted by the EPA regarding a water line extension, because beyond the township boundaries on the other side of the Perkiomen Creek, the EPA has identified